So I heard some noise coming from the rear brakes, so I decided to check them. The passenger side doesn't look to be too bad. Ooh, but the driver's side is worn almost completely down. I can see both pads are worn almost completely down. That makes me believe that there may be a blockage in the hose. So I'm going to replace the hose and put new brake pads on this. So we're going to change the brake pads and the hose on a 2008 Ford F-150. So you'll first take off the wheels on both sides, which I just used the factory lug nut wrench. Take off the wheels just like changing a tire, pretty simple. So I'm going to remove the top and bottom caliper bolt. I'm going to remove it with a 10mm wrench. So just loosen the top and bottom bolts. You take them off, you'll be able to remove the caliper. Once you loosen them all the way out, pull out the bolts. You got one, loosen the bottom. You got two. We can take the caliper off. Yeah, to fight with this one a little bit, so sometimes you'll just have to pry it from the top. Maybe sometimes because it's stuck, you have to put the screwdriver on the pad and push in so you can compress the piston, and that'll give you some play, and then you can come to the top and kind of slowly pry it. Don't do it hard. You don't want to break anything, but we got it loose. It was stuck. Now we can just slide it off. As you can see, the piston's completely out. Probably the brake line's got a clog in it, not letting it retract, therefore wearing down the pad completely to nothing. So pads need to be replaced, and we're going to replace the brake hose to hopefully have no further problems. I'm using a 14mm to take off this brake hose. I should have broke it free before I took the caliper off, but if you lay it upside down, top of the spring, if you need leverage and it does kick up, the caliper will catch the frame and you can use that to break it free. So got it broke free. Take this hose off and replace the hose. I'm using a 16mm. I'll put that right here on the big nut, and I'm going to use an 11mm. I'm going to put that right here on the line on the small nut. I already broke it free so I could show you. But just hold the big one, break it free with the small one, and once the small one's broken free, you'll just completely loosen it. It's already starting to leak, so we're just going to break that free, loosen it up, be able to take the remainder of the hose off and put the new hose on. 16mm, 11mm, just take it off. We got the hose on the caliper loose. You can see there'll be a washer on. So we got the hose on the caliper off. Bolt has a washer on each end for when you replace it. It's got two washers, you'll get two new ones. There's the bolt. Now we got the one end of the hose off, take the other end of the hose off. So we got the hose free. Now we're just gonna have to loosen up the bracket bolt to 10 mil. So once you got the 10 millimeter hose hanger bolt loose, I'm gonna pull it out. Gonna take the hose off. You better put the new hose on. So there's the old one. You got the new one from Advance Auto. It is a Weaver BHA 621019 CarQuest brand. Looks like the exact same. So everything looks the same. Just gonna bolt it back up. Put the hanger back on. Tighten it back up. Alright. Got the new hose tightened down. It's 10 millimeters what I used. So I slid out. So I pulled out one brake pad. Got this piston compression tool. You slide it in there and you'll twist it. You'll be able to push back the caliper all the way back to the compressed position. You just twist this knob until it pushes it all the way back. So I twisted it all the way back. It's completely compressed. Now I'm going to put in the new brake pads. So to get the old brake pads off, the inner one just pulls out. It's connected by this right here. It slides in the piston. This one, you kind of just pull forward and slide up. And get both edges, pull forward and slide up. Filming with one hand. It slides in the piston. And these two notches are going to slide in these holes, and this will hold it down. Push that down. You'll see how they're in the hole. It's level. So you put a washer on the inside of the bolt. You'll put a copper washer on the outside. You're going to hand thread it back on the caliper. So the hose has this notch on it. You're going to hand thread it back on the caliper. Has the groove, it'll line up flush. The notch will be facing towards that bleeder valve. The hose will roll over that way. Then we'll tighten it up. I've already put it together. We got the 16 millimeter, we have the 11 millimeter. And then we'll tighten it up. That'll be good to go. So you need your 14 millimeter. Tighten up the brake hose. Doesn't need to be super tight. Just make sure it's tight, hand tight. Copper washers will compress. I'm going to tighten up the, we'll have the 16 millimeter line wrench, and we'll tighten up the 11 millimeter. Just hand tight. You will see some threads. You don't want to tighten it all the way up. You will see threads showing, that's normal. Just take a mallet and a screwdriver and pry off the clips. You can put the new ones on. That's all there is to it. Just knock them off. And just put the new ones on. Just hit them with the rubber mallet. Now the new clips on. Put the new clips on top, bottom. And put a little grease on the pads, on the where they slide. Put a little grease right there. A little grease right there. Put a little grease there. Right there. Just the contact points. Got the new pads on. New slides. Got the new clips on. New clips. They're greased up, top and bottom. Now we're just going to tighten back up the caliper bolts. It's a 10 millimeter. Everything will be good to go. $10 millimeter bolts are tight. 14 millimeter brake hose is tight. And the 11 millimeter and 16 millimeter brake line to brake hose is tight. Got the new brake hose replaced. We got the brake hose replaced. New brake pads. Now we're going to bleed the system. And it'll be good to go. Leave a comment below if this video helped you out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.